We're going to do part 2 of my gear. Last week we did all the stuff that was in my junky black bag, which is right here, actually. And this week we're going to talk about my pedal board and amp, and a little bit about the guitar that I play with on a regular basis, just more for the cover gigs, not for the blues stuff or the rock band stuff. Those gigs I generally tend to pick instruments that are more specific to the gig, whereas this guitar ends up being more general. I get a lot of different sounds out of this guitar that aren't maybe exactly on for a piece of music, but it's a lot closer than I can get maybe just with my Les Paul or just with the Telecaster. Also, just as a side note, I usually get a lot of grief from people because of my dirty sneakers and my other gear demos. And today's painting day here at Premier Music. We're painting the drum studio. So I decided we'd go all out, and instead of even wearing shoes, which I actually wore my lawn mowing sneakers today, but they're all covered in wet paint. We're just going to have socks. So that's for all the shoe haters. Alright, so this is my pedal board that I'm currently using. I've just added a few things since the last time I did one of these videos, so it's not going to be too groundbreaking. As usual, we start off with a full tone wah. Here's the guitar through the amp without any pedals actually on. There's the bridge pickup. Here's the neck pickup. So that's basically just the amp with no reverb or effects or anything. All right. One of the things that I just got this reverb pedal here. I played through a deluxe reverb, but the reverb, since I've got the amp repaired, doesn't sound very good. So I'm actually using the Fender reverb to simulate the reverb that should be in the amplifier, if that makes any sense. I like this a lot. There's a slight amount of gain reduction from it. It kills a little bit of the signal going into the front end of the amp, but it's not really bothering me too much. So I leave it on. All right. So that's just my general global reverb. If I want to, like if I'm doing some surf stuff, enough that you can hear the reverb, but not so much that it drowns everything out. So, but lately I've been just kind of having about that much verb going on. The full tone wah over here. Just a real standard wah. There's nothing special about it other than the fact that it sounds good, which makes me happy. The next thing in the signal chain is this BB preamp. I'm running it with very little gain. This is kind of my more like classic rock overdrive. A lot of times I'll roll the volume back even a little bit. Get that kind of sound. All I'm doing is I'm rolling the volume back on the guitar. I'm not entirely in love with it. I keep saying I'm going to replace it, but I have yet to find anything that I like better. The direct drive SS is kind of standard to me all the time. That's kind of more my 80s thrive. Music in the cover bands, so that helps to have that going on. The RC booster has gone from being my solo boost to kind of being audio catch-up. I use it if we're playing a real quiet gig and I need to fake whether or not the amp is loud. It just kind of gives the the illusion that I've got the amp cranked up, so I'm cooking the power tubes a little bit more. A little bit extra low end, a small amount of gain. What's also nice is that I can fatten up any of the other pedals. Or like with the BB preamp. So I can go one more, as Nigel Tufnell would say. It gives me 11 basically. The EP booster is kind of my lead boost. I like it because it's a little smoother sounding. So say I'm playing rhythm here. It gives my lead sound a little bit of not only volume, it's got way more volume than I need, but it gives me a little bit more clarity and presence on stage. Sometimes I just like having it on. I think it colors the sound in a neat way. The next is the Omicron chorus. Once again, I'm living in 80s land with the covers, so the chorus is kind of a useful thing. Using it with the delay. Yeah, suddenly I'm in 1986 all over again, which is great. So that's the first row here. The MXR phaser. I like this one a lot. It just works for how I play. A lot of times I'll use it to fake a keyboard sound. Sometimes it's just nice to have that washiness without having too much effect going on. Sometimes though, if I'm playing a 80s song where I need a synth sound, you know, it's kind of cool because I can get a really cool like analog synthy kind of thing from the 80s. Yeah, so that's kind of my fake sound right there, the combination of those two pedals. The Eventide is a great delay pedal that I use just a few sounds on, has been noted in past videos. I've got a global delay, which we'll turn back on here. You know, just kind of for things like Purple Rain. You want that super everything on kind of sound. You know, that delay's great for that. Before I got the reverb, I kind of had this as a general ambience, which doesn't really seem to do much anymore because the reverb's covering it up. And then I've got my rockabilly slapback. So I just worked for that, and then I've got my favorite. It's like a rotating speaker or Leslie speaker simulator. The pedal over here on the end is actually just an auxiliary pedal to control the Eventide. The Eventide only has one way to go. You can go up banks, but you can't go down, which I think is kind of lame. So this pedal will allow me to go down through the presets, which you can see 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and or go up. The middle button I could set as a bypass. I don't really have it set to anything useful at the moment, though. All right, so that's pretty much how my pedal board is working these days. I'm just using the amp set on 2, which is not very loud, it seems, but it's plenty loud for a lot of my gigs. And I just, you know, a real loud gig, I'll have it on 3. Here's about as loud as it's going to get. Which 22 watts, that's actually plenty loud for most of the shows that I play.